Hi, all y'all. Good to have you drop in for episode 7 of our 15-week limited series podcast. And it's just me, country cowgirl Dr. D, and you, Blu Waters, a Nashville recording artist, whose voice will be behind each week's country song that guides the book reading from my soon-to-be-published I'm Just a Country Song, 3 chords and only my truth. Last episode, we wrapped up by playing a teaser of this podcast song, Tempted. As always, we gave a quiz question about this week's song. Okay, Blu, you ready? Was Tempted Marty Stuart's biggest commercial success and his highest charting solo single? It's a twofer.
Yes, it sure was. And it charted to a high of number 5 on Billboard.
It is one of his signature songs. Each week, I share how the episode's country song chose me. Tempted touched so many parts of me. Tempted by wanting to join someone I had lost, both by death and another by a relationship that never should have been. Maybe we should even share that the one I lost has your nickname, Blu. I called her Cat. And that it's almost like you and I, Blu and me, were meant to meet these many years later. I do double takes sometimes. It is a song that reaches into the heart of being tempted by life, by loss of life, by forbidden fruit, by always not quite being in the right place at the right time, while needing to be exactly where you were. Okay, Blu, have you had a time in your life when you were tempted but knew that the choice was not the best?
Oh, absolutely, I have. I believe that as humans, we are filled with temptations on a daily basis. And we all get the choice of either giving into those temptations or not. I believe that deep down in our soul, what is right for us and what is wrong for us is something that we know. And I would say that my biggest temptation this far has been giving up on my dreams and my purpose and my calling in life when everything kind of goes south and doesn't seem to be working. But when I feel like that, I sit with those feelings and I always end up coming to the same conclusion. And it's always been that giving up is simply not an option for me. Failure is an option because I've learned so much from my failures, but just throwing in the towel is not an option. I would much rather look back on my life and have no regrets than long to have taken a chance on my dreams.
Powerful, Blu. Thank you. Thank you for sharing it. Grab that guitar. It's your turn, Blu. Won't you sing one of my favorite songs, Tempted, and I will pull out the lyrics that will guide this week's chapter read.
All right.
Take it away, Blu.
All right, listen up. There's a girl trying to steal my heart and I'm tempted. Even though she could tear it apart, I'm tempted. In her eyes there's mystery. Every time she smiles at me, I know how it could be, and I'm tempted. Each time she looks my way, I'm tempted. Just a little more every day, I'm tempted. It's so hard to resist the thought of her sweet kiss. Can't take much more of this, I'm tempted. tempted and tried. Deep down inside, I can't deny that I'm tempted. Ever since she caught my eye, I'm tempted. Just one look and you'll know why I'm tempted. So if I'm burned by the flame, there's no one but me to blame. 'Cause every time she calls my name, I'm tempted. Tempted and tried. Deep down inside, I can't deny that I'm tempted. Tempted and tried. Deep down inside, I can't deny that I'm tempted. I'm tempted. I'm tempted. I'm tempted.
Tempted. Singer and songwriter Marty Stuart. Tempted and tried. Deep down inside, I can't deny I'm tempted. Did you ever walk by someone randomly and your skin caught fire? There was a second look, and you fought the ache, praying that it was just a moment's silly loneliness that had you thinking, could this be the one? It was a tough time in my life, being lonely after the loss of our second child, Catherine Jean, Cat, who was on this earth for a moment, even though for 9 months she traveled in our anticipation. The pain seared through all my being when they erased our last name from her hospital, baby's crib, and put, Baby Love. I lost my breath and my chest caved in to protect me from the sorrow. I could not fathom how any of this could ever make sense or lead to a joy that I am so glad not to have missed. The room filled with pink baby clothes decorated with light and joy became a shrine of grief and sorrow. Everything was removed without a trace paralleling my return home alone. It became apparent that we all grieved differently, as what would have been Kat's father kept a stiff upper lip and went to work as if nothing had changed. And Kat's might have been brother was the needy 2-year-old he always was. The numbness became so loud and the air outside so quiet that I stepped out of my life, suspended, deadened, with a sorrow so heavy, taking a step or another did not seem to matter anymore. To gather up the pieces and crawl out from the closet, 6 months, a year, maybe 2 years later, I joined a group of women learning how to occupy their time on a weekday morning skiing in the mountains, and there you were. Your likeness to a country singer, Marty Stuart, was breath-catching, and the fact that you also sang in a local country band, of course, caught my attention. And yes, I was tempted. My inbred stubbornness refused to see that you preferred only blondes with money. Why couldn't a brunette with a tinge of red and a severely broken heart also be among your chosen ones. Then it began, a story that was a happen chance, one in a million odds to have ever started in the first place. I was truly humming a country song in that moment, when so much ache in my heart reached out for salve to soothe the knifing pain. The music and the chords of the steel guitar echoed the aching strains of my life. I was tempted and tried. It was brief, deep, true, distracting, and two ships passing by. But with eyes wide open as years rolled along, our paths would cross and cross again. It was one of those times, those tunes of bittersweet love in the moment, not meant to be, but everything you need. Same time next year and the next year, I would think of you and the flames shot higher. Maybe I saw a glimpse of Kat's smile deep down where the ache ember still glowed bright. Many years have passed by and our lives have gone on, as life has a habit of doing. But maybe destiny has a way of happening in its own way, with the continued possibilities of still a quick passing on the street, hearing each other's name mentioned by someone we both know, or a slight smile of a memory appears. Is it because those we truly love, those who made a difference, can remain in our heart space, whether or not the physical will never, ever be again? Is it coincidence that the pain without Kat took all my breath away, and every time I see you, breathing suspends? Can you continue to love someone who's no longer with you, but deep down inside is every bit alive? Can you refuse to give up heart hope, even though the two loves that tempted you are out of reach and beyond repair in this lifetime? I can't deny I'm tempted. Here's to thanking you, Kat, for taking my desire to die with you and showing me how to live knowing you. Here's to my country singing hero that stepped into the void with a momentary lifeline. Here's to the new Kat in my life who sings country songs so well. Here's to all of us who have been tempted, cried, and have refused to let love die. Thanks, y'all, for listening in with Blu and me. We always appreciate your being with us on I'm Just a Country Song, especially the 7th episode driven by Marty Stuart's Tempted. You could tell it's a very special song. It's about surviving tragedy even though you could barely breathe, while being tempted by a relationship that wasn't meant to be, but got you through it. Next week's song, guiding the podcast, is a favorite of mine from Buck Owens and the Buckaroos. I've Got a Tiger by the Tail. It details that you may find yourself in a situation where it's more dangerous or difficult to escape than to just hang on to right where you are. Blu, will you give us a few chords of a song that speaks for the more troublesome times you found yourself in than you initially bargained for?
Boy, you said that right. Absolutely. Here it is.
Well, every night you drag me where the bright lights are found. There ain't no way to slow you down. I'm about as helpless as a leaf in a gale, and it looks looks like I've got a tiger by the tail.
Thanks, Blue. Let's give our usual weekly quiz about I've got a tiger by the tail, so our listeners will tune in to the next episode for the answer. The question is, what sparked Buck Owens to write this song? Tune in to episode 8 to hear the answer from Blue. If folks want to learn more about what you're up to, Blue, where do they go?
They will go to @IamBlu Waters on Instagram and TikTok, or Facebook will be Blu Waters Music, and Blue is spelled BLU, as I'm sure you all know by this point. They can stream my music on Apple Music, Spotify, and YouTube, and also be on the lookout for my next single.
Okay, I'm hanging on my seat here. What's the name of the single, Blue?
The name of it will be Cali King.
Ooh, Cali, like California, like a girl's name? Where's that from?
It is as in California King Bed.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Little spicy.
See you all for next episode of the 15 Limited Series podcast, rolling out the chapters of my soon-to-be-published book, I'm Just a Country Song, 3 Chords and Only My Truth. Be looking for it in the spring of 2024. And don't forget Blue's new song coming out about the same time. Won't you join us for the next podcast? We hope so. Wishing y'all well. Bye for now.